Hey, so here's my video for Module 9. That first prompt that we have, I actually really like the article to start off, but I really thoroughly enjoyed the article. It's pretty eye-opening for me. But for the first prompt that we have, on our thoughts are why or why not um, Google being able to decide websites that we should be listed like as malware or dangerous. I don't necessarily agree with it being. I don't necessarily agree that it's a good idea. I don't feel like anyone uh, search engine should have like control of the internet per se. Like I feel like Google feels like they control the internet, and I feel like that's not fair. B, it's not a good idea because not everybody. I don't think any one person should have all of the power. It's kind of a scary thought that one search engine or one company owns all of these, side companies that actually control basically the entire internet. And it explains a lot of things about Google. Like honestly, it made a lot more sense to me after reading this article. I know Potter wrote a lot about messages that companies wanted us to see, and not so much as messages that companies did not want us to see. I I really think that in general, people or companies show us what they want to show us. We sometimes I feel like we don't get a choice in what we actually see. I feel like in all actuality, it's we're presented with what other people deem valuable enough or important enough or what they deem is necessary for us to see or not to see. And we have to make the choice whether or not we're going to go beyond what other people show us or what other companies show us. I think that's what makes us more media literate is we look past these almost these distracting signs that say pay attention to me, don't pay attention to X, Y, or Z, don't pay attention to anything else, pay attention to this one thing that I'm putting in front of you. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up and a lot of problems arise. I just think companies they do dictate what we see and what we don't, and I think that's kind of a scary thought for a lot of people. One thing that I made a connection with is personally at work, I do almost everything through Internet Explorer, and I could not figure out why our company, which is a corporation, why we cannot use Google Chrome for anything. And now it makes complete sense to me that a website or a program that I use that our company has developed cannot be run through Google Chrome. And it makes more sense to me because they deem it dangerous because it's not something that they developed, is what I'm assuming, is that it's not something they developed, so they deem it dangerous. But it's not a dangerous thing. I run it through Internet Explorer and it works perfectly fine. It's just it's a program that we use to process orders. Like I don't understand what that makes dangerous. It's quite confusing to me, but it actually makes a lot more sense to me on why I can't process things or run my program through Google Chrome because they've deemed it dangerous. Um, which that's something that I immediately thought of. I was like, that makes more sense on why I can't use that sort of program through Google Chrome. They say, oh, it's not compatible, and I think Google just deemed it dangerous because they didn't develop it and they don't monitor it, if that makes sense. So they don't get anything from it. So they've deemed it not necessary and dangerous. The PLE. So the PLE, when I did that, I don't think I quite grasped the concept of it correctly. And so I kind of reevaluated my whole PLE, which for me, I would expand on in every single topic, but the collect category, I have notes, bookmarks, saved bookmarks, screenshots, and saved email. I could expand on that on so many levels at this point. I can use news, and I do a lot more reading into things actually since starting this class. I have realized that moving past what is at face value is going to be of more value to me. It's going to be better for me in the long run to be able to do my own research and educate myself in being able to process these, whether it's media, whether it's headlines or news. I'm able to process it a little bit better, more consciously. So in my collect category, I would definitely expand on many levels, and it does my in my collect category. Everything that I've chosen still functions, even though Google does what Google does. But I think for the overall idea of it, I would expand on it immensely. And since I have a better understanding of the PLE and that assignment in general, and I have a better understanding of media literacy and what I should and should know, or what I should and should not know kind of thing, and how I process different things, my collect category it expands tenfold, I think. Being able to collect all this different information through different channels, and Google is a big one for me. I use Google all the time, and for some reason I'm not using Google as often. I probably won't use it hardly as much because of this article, but I really enjoyed it. This assignment was actually very interesting for me. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on the whole topic, but hope you guys enjoyed this little speech. Hopefully I didn't go too long, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Thanks.